Jim Carrey just got banned from Russia for Russophobia. Okay. Okay. You know, I wouldn't want to go... Yeah. Oh, no, I've been banned from going to a place I hate.
Banned from... Oh, but, you know, thank God, because Banksy's in Ukraine.
Yeah.
So Jim Carrey can't go to...
It's finished.
Jim Carrey can't go to Russia, but it's okay, because Banksy's in Ukraine.
With his extremely unsubtle and generic fake deep art, he will truly turn the tide of this war.
Also, Kyle...
some of the stuff's kind of good.
Kyle Kinane is impersonating Elon Musk on Twitter.
I don't know who that is.
This is just such a...
Is he the guy who did the Italian Elon Musk account?
Well, I know who he is. He's Elon Musk. Come on, Danny.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle Kinane, he's Elon Musk now. He has the blue check mark, so clearly. Oh, God, what a fucking day. Anyways.
I make the pasta. I bust up at the unions.
Okay. Okay, hello and welcome to I Will Say This, Though. My name is Jimmy. I'm here with my friend Danny.
Hello.
And normally we do like sort of like tier list rankings of like pop culture stuff. But we want to try something different. So we've
it's going to be a shorter video this time.
It's also going to be a shorter video. It's not going to be like our trademark 2.5 long videos talking about like basically
2.5 hour long. You mean
2.5 hour long videos? 2.5 hour long. Anyways, so basically what happened is I remember this one article I read back in April 30th, 2014 on the great website crack.com.
Which has not been good since about 2014, probably?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been to it since then.
And I just remember looking back at it, and it's really funny because the title of the article is 4 Awesome Marvel Movie Scenes You'll Never See and Why. And I would probably say this is, and we'll find out later, but...
Not a very well-aged article?
No, I'd say this is definitely... probably, as the title of this video is going to say, the most poorly aged MCU article on the internet.
That's right? A good title.
Yeah. And before we go further, I just want to say...
we are not...
We're not...
This is not a hit piece on this Tom Reimann
Yeah, this is not gonna... This isn't gonna... Oh, you know, Tom Reimann is such an idiot for thinking these things, because that's... You know, because like a lot, he does make a lot of solid arguments that just unfortunately have... not stood the test of time.
Or maybe, fortunately, if from the perspective of a Marvel fan, like, it's good that he was wrong, right?
But maybe, unfortunately, from the perspective of, like, good economic antitrust...
Oh, alright, that's fair. Disney
policy.
have...
Yeah, we'll get to it.
We're going to be talking about the Fox buyout, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to...
Okay.
Yeah, Danny has not read this, by the way. Okay. So, let's just go through it point by point, okay?
A new Spider-Man movie is coming out this week, leading us to wonder what the hell he was doing back in 2012 when aliens tore apart New York City and the Avengers had to come in and stop them. Why didn't Spidey swing in and crack some fleshy alien skull domes alongside Tony Stark and Captain America? I don't know, man. It's a movie. It's fiction. Who cares?
Yeah,
Is that your ideal movie?
I mean, kind of,
My ideal movie is Sally Hawkins fucking a handsome fish man, and they made that movie, so I'll die happy.
Oh, but like, why didn't Spider-Man come... Wait, was that also set? Where's that set?
Baltimore.
Well, why doesn't...
The guy from The Wire.
Why doesn't the guy from The Wire...
Which guy? I don't know.
Why doesn't, oh God, what's the name of the guy? Omar come whistling in.
Omar coming, yo! And so is the fish.
Can you imagine watching The Shape of Water?
It's set in the 60s.
And someone starts...
Boy, wouldn't it be weird if Omar showed up in, I don't know, an MCU movie? 'Cause that happened.
Did it?
Yes.
What?
In the Edward Norton Hulk movie.
Really?
It's a deleted scene, but he insisted on having a crossover with The Wire, where
joking.
Omar tried to de-escalate the fight between
You're
the Hulk
joking.
and the Abomination.
Wait, I need to look this up. What was the actor? Michael Williams?
Michael K. Williams. And Michael K. Williams is still in one scene of the Hulk, but he's not...
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, you know what?
It's not just that that Michael K. Williams was going to have a cameo. It's he was going to have a cameo as Omar Little. Because Edward Norton likes The Wire and was very insistent.
Okay, you know what? Why are we talking about these other movie scenes? We already have the most awesome Marvel
No, we gotta do this.
Okay. Okay, boy. Okay, and we're just at the introduction. Anyways.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah. So, okay. So basically, so for some context, This movie was written in 2014, right, I'm assuming the same week as The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I didn't like that movie. I don't think anyone liked that movie.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard bad things.
Yeah, but I will give it this. The web slinging scenes in that are easily the best of the entire franchise. And his costume, fantastic. Like, Andrew Garfield in his costume absolutely looks the part.
I like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I saw the first one he did. It was fine.
Yeah.
He was good in it.
He's the only person that I think captures what I think of when I think of Spider-Man. You know, the sort of like quippy, like he has fun. He doesn't he doesn't
Jake
hate.
Johnson.
Well, I mean live action. Come on. Also, if we're talking animated,
And I assume we're limiting this to Peter Parker Spider-Man.
yeah.
So
And
not
if
Miles.
we're talking animated, then obviously the answer is Josh Keaton from The Spectacular Spider-Man.
How about Franco Franchetti from Italian Spider-Man?
Okay, no. But anyways, Andrew Garfield definitely encapsulates like the sort of having fun with his bad guy sort of vibe, like which
You found my one weakness, tiny knives.
yeah, and I don't think any other, maybe Tom Holland a little, but I feel like he's still too young in his movie to really get that whole like laid back sort of. Anyways, so that's the context, okay? Sadly, Spider-Man and Avengers team up is just one of many things we can pretty much guarantee that you'll never ever see in a Marvel movie, at least not in your own lifetime.
And 8 years later, we can safely say that he was wrong.
He was, yes, Tom Reimann. Once again, not a hit piece. This isn't a hit piece.
When did Civil War is the first
Okay.
one with Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, I think what we should do is I want to pinpoint the exact year that each one of these,
Okay.
in this listicle, each point
All right,
was
so
proven
we'll go
wrong.
through point by point.
Yeah, okay. So that was the introduction. We're moving forward. So
All
here
right.
are the 4 Marvel movie scenes you'll never see and why. And we'll like talk through his logic and
Yep.
how they were proven wrong.
So point for certain characters just won't get their own films.
Yes. So we don't have to read the whole thing.
All right.
But Danny, I'll just explain to it. So basically his argument is that certain characters, and he specifically mentions Deadpool and Black Widow will never be given their own feature.
There's a third Deadpool movie coming
There's
out.
a third Deadpool movie coming out in the MCU.
Black Widow did get her own film.
Yeah. Well, eventually, like, to be fair, okay, so his logic is Deadpool is an R-rated character and Hollywood is nervous about making R-rated superhero movies. That's true. Let's just acknowledge.
Yes. And
that is still true.
It was a whole rigmarole for Deadpool to get his own movie, not counting whatever that thing in X-Men Origins
Right,
Wolverine, which I think we can agree probably doesn't count as Deadpool.
Yeah, and even if it did, it's still not Deadpool getting his own movie in the same way
is
that
also
Black
true.
Widow was in other people's movies. But also, like at this point of Hollywood being nervous, but they still are. Like, because after they made, first of all, they don't give any money to the Deadpool movies. They give like a minuscule budget compared to.
Doesn't the second one make a joke out of that?
Yeah, even the first one makes a joke.
Okay.
Like, you know how they're like,
I haven't seen them.
I forgot my guns. I'm talking to the audience, not
Okay.
you, Danny.
Okay.
Scenes where he's like, I forgot. Oh, we left all the guns at home. We can't. That's because they didn't have the budget to do like a big shootout scene.
Okay.
So they're joking about the fact that we couldn't afford to do this whole final battle that we wanted. And Hollywood is so nervous about making R-rated superhero movies that, like, after they made Deadpool 2, Disney released a PG-13 version of Deadpool called Once Upon a Deadpool or something like that, and released it in theaters to, like, test the waters to see if people would buy tickets to a PG-13 Deadpool.
PG-13 just inevitably makes more money.
Yeah, but spoiler alert, it
Yeah,
didn't.
that's not what people want Deadpool.
Which is why, unless something changes, they could still change it. Next movie,
And-
Deadpool movie is going to be R-rated.
Have there been many R-rated superhero movies since then?
Logan, I know.
Yeah, okay.
But even then, Logan did not have a lot of money. And also it had Hugh Jackman, who, is famous enough to, overcome the...
Yeah.
The...
In a way that Ryan Reynolds
Yeah, probably, circa...
might be by
2016.
now, at least, but
Yeah.
was not then.
Yeah. So this is still correct. Hollywood is nervous about making R-rated superhero movies.
But they eventually did it anyway.
Did eventually. And Black Widow is a female character, and Hollywood loves ignoring the fact that people watch films starring women. Again, that was true, especially in 2014. This was
Yeah, but...
before Wonder Woman, before Captain Marvel, before Black Widow.
Yeah, but not before Catwoman.
Not before Catwoman.
Or Supergirl.
Or Elektra.
Or Elektra. Or, Tank Girl.
Tank Girl, yeah. Well, yeah, so...
Does Tank Girl count as a superhero? I'm going to say not.
Yeah, so clearly, like this is, you know, it was true at the time. It's just that, you know, things happened between when Tom Reimann wrote this article and now.
He shouldn't have said never.
Yeah.
He should have said why it hasn't happened already.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's not going to get clicks.
No, it's not.
That's the thing about online journalism, is that you have to use hyperbole in your headlines in order to get people to click on your thing.
And I've seen cracked articles come out back in the day that had, like, more nuanced titles, and then a day or two later had been changed to something more attention-grabbing. For this exact reason.
Yeah, because we live in a dystopian hellscape. But here's where his argument gets interesting. There's actually a much simpler deciding factor at work here, whether the character wears a mask. So his logic is that the most profitable superheroes are characters that wear masks. So, for example, Iron Man wears a mask, Captain America wears a mask, Batman wears a mask.
So they can do action scenes while fully CGI, but then he can take off his mask when we want Robert Downey Jr. to say something.
Exactly. So that way you can control how much time you pay the super expensive actor for their time, and how much time you get, like, you know, a stuntman in it or like a CGI in it.
Now, counterpoint, there have been many just action movies that just starred Harrison Ford or whoever. I'm sure Harrison Ford got paid a lot of money to make Air Force One. They didn't need to put a mask on him.
Yeah, but I think the difference is that superhero movies are generally more expensive to make, just because you have, like, laser beams and like giant robots and all that kind of
inherently
stuff.
more effects heavy.
Yeah.
But was Black Widow? I didn't see it, but my understanding was that it was a bit more stripped down.
I'll explain it. We'll get to it. So his arguments targeting Deadpool and Black Widow is, first of all, you know, Black Widow doesn't wear a mask, and Deadpool, as he later says, Deadpool
only ever wears a mask,
or at least he did at this time, because in the comics, Deadpool's face is so ugly from cancer that he always wears a mask. And the idea is that if they were to spend money on a super expensive actor like Ryan Reynolds, they would either have to have him be constantly in a mask or have super heavy prosthetics on him to the point where you can't recognize him as Ryan Reynolds.
So it'd be like a Tom Hardy performance.
Yeah. Except he's the lead character, which is a different situation. Well, you know, like in Mad Max, he does wear something on his face. He takes it off, exactly. But how they got around is pretty interesting. So first of all, Black Widow, when they eventually did make the Black Widow, like as Danny said, it was really stripped down. They had like...
It's more just like a spy action movie.
Yeah, right? It was a spy action movie. They had like... And the CGI was real bad. It was like the worst CGI. Like they paid Scarlett Johansson for her face for most of the runtime, and also, not most of the runtime, but, you know, for the movie, and also just like took all that from the special effects budget. And also, she wasn't even I don't think she even was in there for like all that compared to like the other...
it's like kind of like an ensemble movie?
Yeah, it's an ensemble movie, yeah, because like it also has like, you know, Florence Pugh does some of the weight, carries some of the weight. So does, you know, David Harbour. Yeah,
he's the bad guy, right?
No, David Harbour, well, he plays, in the comics, he's a bad, he's like the dad figure. Oh, okay. But he's the anti-hero. He's not a...
Okay.
And, you know, like, you know, they're both great actors, but at the time...
What's Florence Pugh great in? I've never seen...
Little Women, Midsommar...
Midsommar is piss.
But her acting was great in it.
It was fun. She stoned half the movie. Like, she doesn't...
I mean...
She wasn't the problem with it, but her performance did not impress me.
Anyways... but yeah, but, you know, they were both, like, significantly cheaper than Scarlett Johansson.
Undeniably.
Right. So that's how they got around this issue that, that Tom Reimann...
This, budgetary issue.
Yeah, the budgetary issue of if they don't wear a mask... If Scarlett Johansson never wears a mask, you have to pay her more for showing her face, instead of a stuntman or CGI.
I think we're kind of at a point where Marvel can make... If Marvel wants to make a movie out of anything, they can. Like, these budgetary constraints don't really matter to them anymore.
But also, they do want to, like, you know, make a profit. So I don't think they'll spend more money on...
And that's why the special effects are usually pretty sliced.
Well, nowadays they are. Because now they're dealing with a lot of characters that they don't... They're new characters, so they're not sure hits, you know what I mean? They're not putting as much money into it as they would for, you know, a new Iron Man movie. Because even the earlier Iron Man movies, I don't think they had, like, that much money in the special effects. And then Deadpool... Now, here's how this Deadpool I find interesting, because how they got around the problem that Tom Reimann lays out about Deadpool always wearing a mask because of how ugly his face
And
is.
having gross prosthetics
Yeah.
whenever he takes it off.
Is that they just didn't make him all that ugly. He's just Ryan Reynolds, bald with like some light acne on his skin.
Hooray.
Like, so like, and I was kind of disappointed honestly when I saw the movie. I was like,
That's fair.
he's supposed to look wretched. He's supposed to look like dripping pus and shit. But no,
Yeah.
it's just like
Okay.
some versions he's even like just showing like teeth and stuff. Like like no
Like
lips.
the Chatterer Cenobite?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Danny's doing an impression of it. You can't see it
You
he's
can't
like-
see it, but you can hear me go,
Yeah, exactly.
maybe. I don't know if it's
Or
picking it
yeah.
up.
So that's how they got around it, and I think that's so.
Maybe their best option.
Yeah,
Also, like, when you're making a movie that is that CGI reliant, it's not too far off from making just an animated movie. And at that point, like, I don't know how much of the motion capture Ryan Reynolds did, but, like, they get big-name actors to do voices for animated characters all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not that far off from doing that.
yeah. I do wish they would make more animated superhero movies. Like I don't. I think that's what
I like Spider-Verse a lot.
DC needs to do that. DC is good at animation. They just need to make an animated theatrical
Alas.
cinematic universe.
Kevin Conroy is gone.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Oh God! What else?
Also, the only animated DC movie I can think of to get a theatrical release was A, excellent, and B, a giant flop,
Yeah, Mask of the
Mask
Phantasm.
of the Phantasm.
I mean, it was in theaters for like a week or
which
something.
we discussed.
Anyways, yeah. So before we move on, I just want to quickly go over when these things were proven wrong. So we're in 2014. Black Widow got her movie in 2021. So
Yeah, they held it up a year.
7
didn't they?
years later. Yeah, Deadpool got his movie in 2016.
Okay.
Okay, so a good.
Only 2 years after this article was
Yeah.
written did Deadpool's movie
And
come
it
out.
took a while. Someone had to leak
Yes.
leak test footage
Because they
to
had
get
canceled it.
Yeah. Someone had to leak footage, leak a script. I read the screenplay online like years before I
Yeah.
saw the movie.
I remember hearing about it.
They had to leak the whole movie so that the internet would be like, yes, you should make this movie, so that Fox would finally be like, fine, let's make this movie.
So he's right about
Yeah.
the studios kicking and screaming every step of the way.
yeah.
It is frankly miraculous that much movie did get made.
Yes,
but
honestly,
it did.
It did, yeah. So, okay, so our next point that Tom Reimann lays out, you can forget about seeing Spider-Man or the X-Men working with the Avengers.
So this is his point about like the rights holders.
Yeah, so this is, pretty straightforward. Spider-Man is owned by Sony. X-Men is
The
owned
film
by...
rights are.
Yeah, or, Sony. X-Men was owned by Fox at the time because in the 90s or early 2000s, Marvel was going through like some stuff. They were going bankrupt, so they had to sell the movie rights of all their most profitable characters.
Is that why Roger Corman made that Fantastic Four movie that never got released?
Yeah. So they had to sell all the rights to all these movies to Sony and Fox in order to stay alive. And as a result, in 2014, it was unlikely to expect Spider-Man or X-Men to work with the Avengers. And
You
even though
couldn't
the
have
comics,
predicted
there was
that
Avengers
Disney would
versus
just
X-Men.
buy Fox.
Yeah.
Although the case with Sony, I think, is more interesting.
Yeah, the case with Sony was actually much more unique and like interesting because a lot of things, like with Deadpool, a lot of things had to happen for Spider-Man to appear.
Yeah.
Because like there was like this falling out with Andrew Garfield where like Andrew Garfield like was sick and he didn't show up to like a meeting with some shareholders or something, and then Sony thought that was him flipping them off. And then they
Oh, I didn't hear this story.
yeah, it was like some bullshit.
Okay.
And then Amazing Spider-Man 2 flopped.
Yeah.
So like a lot of things did have to happen in order for Sony to be like, you know what, we'll make more money if we let. So basically, the way I understand is the deal with Sony and Disney is we let you use Spider-Man, you make the movies. We take the money from the
share
movies,
the profits.
and in exchange, we will let you use Spider-Man for your Avengers crossover movies.
Yeah, and
Which-
so does Sony make the Spider like Far From Home and Homecoming?
No, they release
also
it, they distribute their names on it,
I see.
but Disney made it, which is why they're good.
Yeah,
Which is why they are.
it's clear that
good
Sony
movies.
has lost track of how to make a good Spider-Man movie. Oh wait, who did Spider-Verse?
Oh well, Spider-Verse. That's a whole different. That's
Is that
the
Sony Animation? Ah, all right, they know.
which is different from the people making the live action movies. Okay, we might cut this, but
What's interesting to me is that Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2,
Yeah.
not the Tobey Maguire one, that it could flop so hard, and yet everyone still know that the Spider-Man brand itself is still in demand. That Disney would not see the flop and think, oh, well, why even bother? That they would see the flop and think, now is our chance to get Spider-Man, which we still want.
I mean, I think it's a pretty hard sell to tell someone that Spider-Man, one of the most iconic fictional characters, not just superheroes, fictional characters of all time, is not, will not be profitable.
Yeah, it speaks to the power of that brand. If it hadn't been Spider-Man, if it had been Thor.
Yes, definitely. Thor, his movie, Kenneth Branagh Thor, no one would be fighting, which is why they didn't sell Thor, because no one would have wanted Thor.
Thor is a public domain character.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Other studios have made their own blockbuster Thor movies. The Marvel version of Thor is, even then, not that high tier until...
Now it is. But
now, but prior to these movies,
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had a version of Thor.
Exactly. So that's how they got Spider-Man. It could be that, Tom Reimann is only talking about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man never showing up in the MCU. But he did anyways in 2021's Spider-Man No Way Home. So even that did not age well.
So did Tobey Maguire.
And so did Tobey Maguire.
But not Franco Franchetti. Missed opportunity.
Yeah. That's Fox, X-Men and Fox, that was a bit more easy,
Yeah, they just
Disney was
it.
just like, oh, you know what? Yeah, we'll just gobble you up like a fucking amoeba, just like.
With Spider-Man, they had to work out a deal, but they knew it was worth it, so they worked out that deal.
Because we're living in a new Gilded Age right now, where companies are creating these huge monopolies, and all the wealth is being amassed into a few individuals. Because we're in hell. We're in hell, and we
deserve it.
We need a new Teddy Roosevelt. We need a new William Howard Taft. We need a new Franklin Roosevelt to come in and be like,
bust up the trusts,
bust the trusts. Yep, split Disney remove Pixar from Disney like a fucking surgery.
Force them to sell it.
Force them to sell it.
Like pulling Gabriel out of Annabelle Wallace's head.
Yeah. Oh god, Warner Brothers. Oh fuck, that's even worse. Anyways.
Oh yeah, they're in complete death spiral.
So that's how Spider-Man worked with the Avengers in 2016 with Captain America Civil War. Worked with half of the Avengers, fight the other half of the Avengers, but still counts as working with the Avengers. And the X-Men, I think by now we can say the X-Men officially has worked with the Avengers in Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, when Professor X shows up and is on the same side as Doctor Strange, who is
an Avenger.
Technically an Avenger because he was in the final battle in Endgame, and Cap was like, Avengers Assemble, referring to all of them. So so
which one is Cap?
Captain America.
Oh, right.
I
only saw the first two Captain America
I love talking to Danny about superhero movies because he hasn't he's seen I've said this before, but he's seen every movie that isn't a superhero movie.
Have you seen Captain America: Death Too Soon? Because I have.
Okay. Anyway,
it's bad.
Okay, so Spider-Man worked with the Avengers in 2016 to fight other Avengers. X-Men, Professor X worked with the Avengers, Doctor Strange
and
in
they
2022.
Are developing a new X-Men.
Yeah.
Because, my God, did Sony? Who was it? Fox. It was
Fox, yeah.
Fox completely crapped the bed on the last 8 X-Men movies they made.
Yeah.
I heard people liked Days of Future Past, but that seems to have been the last good one.
Well, also Logan.
Oh, yeah. Logan...
so much so that
Logan kind of counts.
So much so that they're bringing Hugh Jackman back to play the Avengers again in the MCU Deadpool.
Yeah, which even though it wasn't the point of Logan that this is the end of Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, but I mean, Logan. They said that Logan takes place in the future, so it doesn't affect that. But also, this mean 2000? I think 2029 is what they said.
Okay,
but
that's not too far.
What this means is Wolverine Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is going to wear his yellow costume
okay.
in at least one movie. Come on.
I support this. I've also heard it said that Ryan Reynolds is thinking of getting Chris Evans not to play Captain America, but to play the Human Torch.
Oh my god,
and
that would
bringing
be
in
so
Ian
funny.
Griffith and Michael Chiklis and Jessica Alba. He said, I believe I saw something about trying to get that Fantastic Four lineup.
That would be so funny. Okay, I'm looking forward to it now. Anyways, so Spider-Man, this headline's wrong.
I'll just be happy to see Ian Griffith in something again.
We are. I will say we are never going to see Avengers versus X-Men though.
I don't know. It could happen.
It will, but it's not going to be the same. It's not. I don't want to see fucking the new Avengers without Iron Man or Captain America going up against the new X-Men without Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. You know what I mean? It's like
that.
There's no demand for
Famke
that.
Janssen and Alan Cumming.
Yeah, those Nicholas Holtz. Like I don't.
Yeah, even
Nicholas Holt is the like I don't.
I meant like the original,
I,
like early 2000s. But sure, who's the guy who played Cyclops? What's that guy?
Cyclops.
I can never remember that actor's name.
Who gives a crap? Like you know what I mean? Like
I hope that if Disney make their own set of X-Men movies, that they do Cyclops some justice and let him be an actual character who does stuff.
Yeah,
because he's supposed to be the leader of the team and like the main guy, and Wolverine is the Han Solo to his Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
but man, did the Singer movies just lose all interest in Cyclops right off the bat.
Oh god, fuck Bryan Singer.
Anyways, yeah, he's a creep.
Also, Brett Ratner.
Yeah, which is too bad because he made one movie I really liked.
What? Which one?
Red Dragon.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I was talking about X-Men 3, but
oh yeah, that movie was apparently not the worst X-Men movie, but it's the worst I've seen.
Anyways, so we might see the Hulk rip apart Wolverine. No.
I don't know if they would get quite so violent, but you know what? If there's one thing I've learned from making this video, it's never say never.
Never say never.
Oh shit, I did twice.
Anyways, okay. The Avengers will never help each other unless it's an Avengers movie. Okay, so
Captain America Civil
War. This was proven wrong in 2016.
Thor Ragnarok
as well. But Captain America Civil War, I think, is interesting because they're helping each other
against each other.
And also, it is almost an Avengers movie.
It might as well be.
It's only called Captain America, but it's basically an Avengers movie.
That's my understanding.
And
Thor Ragnarok, the Hulk comes along, but that's because he doesn't get his own movies anymore.
Yeah, so once again, the way Tom Reimann's argument is that because of the certain number of movies that each actor is contracted to appear in, it was impossible, as Tom Reimann would say, for them to do crossovers with each other.
Counterpoint, what if they signed those actors on for more movies and paid them a lot of money for it?
Exactly, yeah. So I think that's basically what Disney did. They just renewed their contract, gave them more money. And also they did some creative things where it's like, yes, Chris Evans was signed on for a certain number of Avengers movies and a certain number of Captain America movies, but you could just make one of the Captain America movies basically an Avengers movie.
Sure.
Even though it's called Captain America.
You could also, just from a budgetary perspective, having more than one big name star in your movie is going to stretch the budget. However, not all of these actors, I mean, there's a reason that they mostly hired people who weren't super well known. Like Robert Downey Jr. was already kind of well known, but his star had long since declined.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got him for cheap for at least the first Iron Man. And the various Chris's, none of them were that famous before these movies. So I'm sure they were able to sign them on for some pretty lucrative deals. But once you're re-signing these guys, when now Chris Evans is a big star, and you say, hey, Chris Evans, you want to have a supporting role in Devil Dinosaur 2, if the projections are there, if you think it's going to make that much money, then you go ahead and you hire more than one big name star, and these movies keep making a ton of money.
Yeah, because they were making so much money. I don't think it even mattered, if they were being renewed for significantly more than initially.
The people who go to see these movies and who love them so much will be extra excited to see, oh man, this one also has this guy in it.
Yeah, exactly. Like Tony Stark showing up for like 2 scenes in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, people love that.
Yeah.
People are excited by that.
Yeah. Or like, and the Hulk can show up in Thor Ragnarok because Hulk isn't allowed to get his own solo movies anymore.
And that's because of a rights issue?
Yeah, because Universal owns the rights to solo Hulk movies.
Okay.
So if Disney wants to make a solo Hulk movie...
But not She-Hulk TV shows.
Not She-Hulk TV shows. So Hulk can only be a supporting character, which honestly I think that's where he fits best. I can't see where you're going to take the Hulk as a...
After the first one, I mean, it ends on a cliffhanger setting up the
leader, who is showing up in Captain America 4 as the
fucking
bad guy.
Finally!
I'm so happy. That was all I wanted.
I've been waiting years for more Tim Blake Nelson.
Unless the world ends from the Ukraine nuclear situation. But anyways,
missiles in Poland.
Yeah.
Missiles in
By the way,
Cuba.
we're filming this November 15th, 2022. So many bad stuff happened today.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Ah, God. What a few couple of days. Kevin Conroy died.
I know.
The whole Twitter situation. By the way, this is barely about this article anymore. We're just talking about what has aged poorly. The world.
Yeah.
The state of politics.
Everything is bad now.
Trump is running again.
But you know what was really good? Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Yeah, good
Beautiful
movie.
film.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it. Don't lie.
Yeah. So this was proven wrong 2016 with Captain America Civil War. Even though they were helping each other fight other Avengers, still counts.
Still, Avengers were helping
Yes,
Avengers.
that's true. And
All right. This one's a little more nuanced.
Yeah, so the stories will never resolve. So what Tom Reimann says is The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the second Spider-Man 2 we've seen in 10 years. The first Spider-Man trilogy is over, and then the next generation of the character. But he points out that originally they wanted to make another Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire.
They did, and I would still love to see that. The best case scenario for me is that they stop making Tom Holland movies and they say to Sam Raimi, make Spider-Man 4.
I don't know. I feel like I feel like I've had enough of Tobey Maguire. Also, kind of, to be honest, Sam Raimi, because I saw Multiverse of Madness, I'm like, this guy's not really into superheroes anymore.
Okay.
I would definitely, if you made another horror movie, definitely, yes.
Sure.
But I'm not waiting in line to see another Sam Raimi superhero movie. But anyways, then he goes on to sort of compare the MCU to Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, which at this time was 2 years since it ended in Dark Knight Rises. And he argues that unlike the Dark Knight trilogy, which has a clear ending for the character arc of Bruce Wayne, and you can argue, Danny is going to argue.
I didn't like how it ended.
Yeah, he didn't like how it ended.
But it was a clear end.
It was a clear end point. And honestly, I think if Heath Ledger survived, it could have been better.
Much better.
They could have wrapped up the storyline they were building. But what can you do? I think they did the best with what they had.
And they also ended that one on a cliffhanger with Joseph Gordon-Levitt ready to become.
Well, that wasn't really a cliffhanger. I don't think so, because it wasn't. I didn't watch it like, what's gonna happen in the next movie? With Jordan,
no one seriously thought they were gonna make
with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah,
that movie. It might have been good. I don't know.
But his Tom Raymond's argument is that, unlike Bruce Wayne and Christopher Nolan's trilogy, which at this time when he's writing was still like everyone was still in euphoria over Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, Tony Stark is never going to get an ending for his story, because even though his contract is going to be over, they can't, first of all, they can't reboot the MCU because it's been going on for so long and there's so many pieces to it. And also because...
I think they could eventually.
Well, yeah.
They rebooted the comics a few times.
Yeah. We'll get to that. And also because they're just going to recast someone as Tony Stark. So the problem with talking about this is, yes, we did all see Endgame.
I didn't.
Well, he didn't. But
Why am I even here? Why aren't you having this conversation with someone else?
That's a good question. It's because I have no friends, Danny. It's
Aw.
because you're my only friend.
That can't be.
Well, you're my only friend in the area, Danny.
Oh.
Even though even if Tony Stark, even if Robert Downey Jr. leaves because his contract is over, they're just gonna recast Tony Stark like James Bond. Now, here's the thing.
That didn't happen though.
Yeah, so that didn't happen in Endgame. So
They
Endgame
do resolve his story.
Endgame did
I
resolve his
understand.
story, but what I feel like they're doing with their current multiverse saga is that they're priming.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
They're priming the audience to get used to the idea of different versions playing different characters, actors playing the same character,
Sneaky.
so that they can at some point in the future introduce. Here's Tom Cruise as Tony Stark from Earth 109 or some shit. Yeah,
sure.
Or from Earth Maverick. I don't know.
Here's the timeline where Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are an incestuous couple.
Yeah, Earth. I forget what Earth the Ultimate Universe is, but
The worst Earth.
no, it gave
Probably
us Miles,
this one.
It gave us Miles Morales. Well, yeah,
No, it did give us Miles,
Yeah.
but it also gave us Tony Stark, whose brain was so big that
it was his entire body,
and he was in constant agony.
Oh my god, we need to put up like a picture of that.
And it gave us Scarlet Witch cest.
In the
which no one
Ultimate
wanted.
Universe, Tony Stark's entire body is made of brain matter, and which is
So dumb.
it's like some myth Elon Musk would make up about himself.
Oh, my
like-
brain is so big, I'm so small.
which is also really stupid because if your body was made of brain matter, there aren't actual nerve endings in your brain, so it would not hurt all the time.
There's also no heart to pump blood.
There's
which
also
your brain
no
needs.
or liver or lung.
Sure.
But also the idea that you'd be in constant pain. No, because
No, I guess
you
you're
wouldn't
right.
feel anything because your brain doesn't like. If there's
Yeah.
a nail in your brain, you would not feel it because there are no nerve endings in your brain.
Yeah, that's why in Hannibal there's the scene where he's like cutting open the guy's brain, and the
Yeah.
guy's like, this is bad writing.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck Hannibal.
Anyways, where are we? We keep going on tangents.
Yep.
But so this one is the one where I'm not going to say Tom Reimann is entirely wrong so far. Yes, Stories That Never Resolved. We could say this was proven wrong in 2019 with Avengers Endgame.
Because they are resolving individual characters' arcs and stories. Like, they killed off a bunch of characters.
Yeah, but it's not impossible that, or to either time travel or multiverse shenanigans. Because, like we thought that they revolved, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and Logan.
That's true.
But then
It could
he's
happen.
coming back. So, so we'll give this a tentative you are wrong in 2019.
Yeah. The stories will resolve, but they may occasionally unresolve.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's what I would say is so far, at least until the stories unresolve themselves, the most poorly aged MCU article on the internet.
I do remember reading an article once predicting that the MCU was about to completely crash and burn like the Hindenburg, but I can't remember where it was.
Yeah, I
Predicting
think it was
the entire
also on,
superhero
there-
movie bubble would
there.
pop.
I think it was also on Cracked. I know
Probably.
Cracked also did an article like that, which is you might say is also very very poorly aged. But I think that nowadays I feel like this sort of sentiment is that the MCU is going downhill. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So if anything, it could be that
It's not a giant catastrophic pop like they
Yeah.
had predicted. It's more just a gradual decline
Yeah.
as it stops being at the very center of everything. But people still liked She-Hulk, and
yeah.
I saw Werewolf by Night. It was cute.
Yeah. I think maybe because maybe they're evolving so that they're doing TV shows now because movies in general are declining and popping. Not popping, but like popping implies that it was
I think
growing at some
movies
point.
will resurge, but right now TV is definitely the
like Knives
the
Out
medium
2
of
is on
choice.
Netflix, which
It will be.
I'm pretty mad about. It deserves to be seen in the theater.
I'm hoping I can see it in the theater.
Yeah, like they're doing like a limited theatrical run. You should definitely.
Yes.
Well,
I caught Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio in a
Yes.
theater. It's a Netflix movie.
Guys, if you're listening to this video about the MCU, watch Glass Onion. I saw it at TIFF. It's amazing. Watch it in a theater. Watch it with as many people as you can. It's fantastic. So if you want to take one message from this video is don't always give your money to Marvel movies or superhero movies. See something else once in a while. See Glass Onion. See Banshees of Inisherin.
See Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
See Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Don't see Disney's Pinocchio.
Don't see Disney's Pinocchio.
The old one's good.
Yeah, support and that one isn't even in theaters. That one's on
Disney
Disney
Plus.
Wait, is Guillermo del Toro's coming out in theaters?
I saw it at TIFF, but
Okay.
very limitedly.
Listen, whatever it is just see it in a movie theater. Support your local theater. They're struggling
can.
because, like, here's the thing: people are like, oh, I could just watch it in when it comes out on streaming and stuff. But the thing is, if you do that, it also affects the quality of the movies they put out. Think about it.
That's
so, like,
also true.
yeah, because like Black Widow, shitty CGI. All these movies.
But who cares if it's on the small screen?
Exactly.
At home?
Yeah, all these movies that like the Disney is putting out that everyone's complaining about the special effects. The special effects are shitty because there's first of all they're focusing on their TV now, and also because they're expecting
they don't need to look good.
Yeah, a large portion of our audience to just catch it on streaming on Disney Plus like a month later.
And also, for me at least, I just like seeing a movie in a theater with a large group of people around me reacting alongside me to everything that happens in the movie. It's nice. It's communal. But even if you don't like that, Jimmy's point still stands.
Exactly. So even if that's even if you don't like people, even if you don't like listening to other people around you, which is fair, still like buy a ticket and then just go home or something. You know what I mean? Like or find like a screening where it's empty because like. That supports your local economy. That supports jobs. And
at Inishirin tonight, the lady who was sitting not next to me, there was an empty seat, and then there was her, and I could hear her audibly go "Aww" whenever a cute animal appeared.
Exactly,
and that added a lot to my viewing experience.
Anyways, so that's where we ended on. Watch a variety of movies. Don't just watch a big tentpole Marvel movies. Support smaller features,
mid-budget, low budget,
etc. You will not lose anything from that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you
also support my YouTube channel.
Also support both of our YouTube channels. So this is my YouTube channel. I will say this though: if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment about your opinions on
watch other movies on the channel as well, because that really helps with the algorithm.
Yes, watch the other ones. We have like 3 other movie feature length videos.
This one's going to be a little under an hour.
Yeah, this one's going to be under an hour, which is like a big deal for us.
Yeah.
We're really playing the algorithm with our 2.5 hour long videos.
Check out my channel, Mutant Museum. I do dramatic readings of a wide variety of things. Poetry, bad fan fiction, old pulp adventure stories. It's just a fun grab bag of stuff.
Yes, that is correct. And I think we'll just end on by me spoiling to Danny the end of Glass Onion.
Who's the killer in Glass Onion?
Okay, so the end. So in the Glass Onion, the killer is